Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tech Block. Today we are back with Setup Block episode 6. It has been probably around like 2 months since I've posted an episode of Setup Block. You guys have just continued submitting setups to me, so I'm not going to end this series, don't you guys worry. It's 2019 now, we're back with Setup Block. Multiple episodes are going to be going live in January and probably quite a few more in the coming months as well. So I have a lot of setups that I have to get through. You guys just keep emailing me all your setups. And by the way, speaking of emailing me your setups so I can actually review them and feature them on my channel, the email address has changed, okay? So the new email address is setupblock@techblock.co.uk. That is the brand new email address for the Setup Block show. So pretty much all the future setup submissions will be taken from that email address, as it is like a dedicated Setup Block email address under my own domain, TechBlock, which is pretty sick. And also all the like setup requirements, I guess, and like Setup Block instructions on how to enter, I suppose, are also in the description down below. So if you want to like read up about what you actually need to qualify, I suppose, for like an entry on Setup Block, just read the description down below. And that's it really. So with all that said, everything I'm about to feature will be linked down below in the description. And yeah, let's jump straight into it. The first setup here comes from Xian. He's 13 years old from the Philippines. He's currently a student. As you know, he's 13 years old, and the primary use for his setup is gaming/streaming. Very, very simple setup here. I can see that there's clearly like a lack of space in his room, I suppose, which is why his PC is behind his monitor. And you know, this is all he can really do because, like, I guess his table and the lack of space in this little spot in his room, I suppose. So this is pretty much the best he could have done, and he did a pretty good job of his setup, I suppose. I mean, it doesn't look too bad given the situation that he's currently in, of course. So taking a look at his peripherals and stuff, his keyboard is the Razer BlackWidow Tournament Edition version 2. Told me that his mouse is the Zowie EC2-B. However, in this picture, it is very clearly a Logitech mouse, like the 502 or something. I don't really know, but that is very clearly not a Zowie mouse. For his mousepad, he has the HyperX Fury S Pro Large mousepad with cloth edition mousepad. Very nice stuff here. Okay, and then for his mouse bungee, that one's once again from Zowie. It is the Zowie Kamade mouse bungee. Pretty cool stuff there, but very clearly in this picture, that is a Logitech mouse, dude. That is not a Zowie mouse. Moving on to his headset, he has the Razer Kraken Tournament Edition headset, which actually came out. It's been a while, I feel like now. Yeah, this headset's been around for a while, but it's definitely one of the newer Razer Kraken headsets, I suppose. It's the Tournament Edition, or TE for short. So he has a Razer headset, a Razer keyboard, and then I believe, wait, this mouse here, okay, this is a Zowie mouse here. But then in another picture, okay, wait, he's got the Zowie mouse here. I'm confused now. You've really confused me, my guy. I'm really confused. So this guy has two mice, I suppose, Logitech 502 or something, and then the Zowie EC2-B. Taking a look at Xian's monitor, by the looks of things, he's currently using like a pair of books as like a monitor riser, which is, you know, that's alright if your monitor doesn't have any like height adjustment. You know, that's what you gotta do. And the actual monitor like model number is the ASUS VZ239HR 23-inch IPS panel that is overclocked to 75 Hz, and it's currently got like a Razer background, all RGB and stuff there, looking pretty sick. So that's pretty much like his entire setup there. And behind his monitor, as I mentioned earlier, he does have his PC. Taking a look at Xian's PC specs, he has none other than the Ryzen 3 2200G CPU, the ASUS Prime A320M motherboard, an ASUS ROG Strix GTX 1060 graphics card that is apparently overclocked, and then he also has 8GB of DDR4 Ballistix Sport RAM, a 1TB Barracuda WD green hard drive, and all of those components are sitting inside of the Cooler Master MasterBox Pro 5. So that's his PC. Nothing too crazy going on inside here. He's got like some red LED fans as intake. The CPU cooler isn't RGB. His graphics card is definitely like pretty good, you know, GTX 1060 there, ASUS ROG Strix and stuff. He's got like the Strix logo on top on the backplate, I'm sure. It's a pretty sick graphics card in my opinion. But the entire rig doesn't look too bad, you know, nothing crazy going on in here or anything. His power supply cables are like black, you know, there's no ketchup and mustard cables going on up in here. So, you know, nothing crazy, just a very simple PC build. This is clearly more focused on like performance rather than, you know, aesthetics. Now, in terms of what I would actually like try to change or upgrade in this setup, as you do have like a lack of space here, the one thing I'd probably do is try to pick up some kind of monitor riser that isn't, I guess, like books or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave you like a monitor riser in the link in the description down below, so you can check that out. Maybe buy it for your own setup, just so you don't have to use like books as a monitor riser, if you know what I'm saying. But apart from that, Shane, thanks very much for submitting your setup. Let's move on to the next one. The next setup comes from Bryce. He's 14 years old. He lives in California. He doesn't have a job, but he does do chores around his house to get himself some money. And those chores include doing things like fixing computers and other things, apparently. He mainly uses his setup for productivity, gaming, streaming, and recording. So Bryce has covered his entire wall in like soundproofing foam, I suppose, to reduce like echo and just improve the audio quality for his streams and like I guess all the videos he records as well. So that's how you know you're taking things seriously when you like soundproofed your whole wall to improve audio quality. That's crazy, man. So taking a look at his peripherals for his mouse, he has the Razer Mamba Tournament Edition mouse and an Eagletec KGO10 RGB keyboard, and both of those peripherals are sitting on top of the Combaterwing Mousepad. Taking a look at his monitors, for his main monitor in his setup, which is like in the center of his setup, is the ASUS i2267FW 22-inch monitor for his main one, and then there's also a monitor over on the left of that one, and that is an Acer S202HL 19.5-inch monitor. He also mentioned that he has an Audio Technica AT2020 microphone, which is the same microphone that I have in my setup as well. But I can't see where the microphone actually is in your setup, as you did say you also have like a newer mic arm for it. But from the pictures that you've sent me, I have no idea where that microphone arm is, so I can't really show you a picture of it. And then for his desk, he has the IKEA Linmon 2-meter desk in black brown with, I'm guessing, the like IKEA Adils legs as well, which is basically the exact same desk that I have in my setup as well, which is pretty cool. And then for his headset, he has the HyperX Cloud Stringers. Taking a look at his PC, we don't have too many specs, but for his CPU, he has the AMD FX 6300, 16 gigabytes of, I'm guessing, like DDR3 RAM, and an XFX RX 560 2GB graphics card. So definitely more of like a budget PC build here. Like, I understand that you're 14, so that's probably why, but I'm sure in the future when you get older, you're gonna get yourself like, you know, a part-time job or something and save up, buy yourself a sick new rig, and I'm guessing probably like upgrade many other things in your setup as well. Now in terms of what I'd actually change and improve in this setup, pick up a headset stand for your HyperX Cloud Stringers headset. That would be good, so it's no longer like, you know, hanging off your table, I suppose, there. And you could put that to the right of your monitor there, so I think that would look pretty cool. It would be like the perfect spot for your headset stand, as there's currently nothing there really. I see that you have like an LED strip behind your desk. I hope you control that via like an app on your phone or something, you know, not a little remote. And if possible, maybe consider selling the Acer monitor and picking up another one of your like AOC monitors, the exact same one, so that you have like, you know, matching monitors. And I think that'll just look a lot better there, you know, a lot more professional, I suppose, a lot more like clean. You won't trigger anyone's like OCD or anything. So picking up another AOC monitor and selling your Acer one would be a pretty good idea, I think. But apart from that, in terms of like what you'd actually probably want to save up some money for is upgrading that PC. Like, I'm sure you're probably already doing that, but your PC specs are definitely you know, quite outdated now, an FX 6300. So if possible, dude, upgrade those PC specs. But apart from that, thank you, Bryce, for submitting your setup, and let's move on to the next one. The next setup comes from, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Xian? I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm so sorry, dude. But your setup is absolutely amazing. This may be like one of the best setups I've seen in a long time. The PC build and just the theme that you've gone for here is freaking crazy, dude. Everything here matches so well together, dude. It is beautiful. Honestly, this setup is absolutely beautiful. I'm loving the colors. I love the whole theme. Everything just ties together. It's honestly amazing, dude. So the primary use for this setup is graphics design as well as casual gaming. Taking a look at his peripherals, he has the Rakk PH Sahaya RGB keyboard and a Rakk PH Aporo RGB mouse. Both of these peripherals I've never seen before in my life, but that keyboard looks freaking awesome, dude. And that mouse looks pretty damn good as well. Like, wow, dude. Both of those peripherals are sitting on top of like a large extended mouse mount, I suppose. And you've even drilled a hole in your desk to route your mouse and keyboard wire through as well, improving that keyboard management very nicely there. He has the BM800 microphone, the Creative SBA A60 black speaker or speakers somewhere in the setup. I'm guessing maybe like besides his PC on the left there, but I don't really know. And then he also has the Audio Technica ATH AVC200 headphones for his monitors, which are both held up by some kind of monitor arm. For his main monitor, he has an ultra-wide LG That's all we know. And for the one on the left, which is mounted like vertically, I guess, that is a HKC monitor. Okay, so that's pretty much all we know about his monitors. He also has, I think, like some kind of LED strip behind his desk, and perhaps some kind of like LED lighting behind his monitors as well, shining onto the wall behind them. And speaking of the wall behind his monitors, he's got like some soundproofing foam, as well as a really cool like city skyline, I guess, which is like in blue and purple and all. It looks freaking awesome, dude. Matches the rest of the theme in the setup absolutely beautifully. Also, for his wallpaper, he's using the exact same wallpaper that I have in my setup as well, but my wallpaper is RGB and your wallpaper isn't RGB, but that is okay. In this case, it is okay, as everything just looks so freaking good. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this PC build. So, I'm sure you already know that this is an AMD build. You know, it's got a Ryzen logo at the bottom of the case right there. So for his CPU, he has the AMD Ryzen 7 1700, which is being cooled by the DEEPCOOL GAMMAXX-GI RGB like CPU cooler, which looks freaking awesome. He has 16 GB of G.Skill Trident RGB, 3000 MHz RAM as well. And what's quite surprising to me is that he only has a GTX 1050 Ti in this beautiful build. So that's kind of a shame. I'm pretty sure that, you know, you only do like casual gaming, as you did mention, so perhaps you don't need like, you know, a crazy powerful graphics card. But if I was you, I'd probably consider upgrading that graphics card, as I think it would just make the whole build look a lot better. Perhaps go with like an ASUS card or like a Gigabyte card. I don't know, dude, up to you really. But damn. The build looks crazy. Even with like a 1050 Ti, this build looks absolutely beautiful, right? For his storage, he has a 1/2 TB Samsung 850 EVO SSD and a 2 TB hard drive as well. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm also going to get a ton of questions asking about his case and his fans and LED strips and stuff. So for his case, he has the Tecware Vision, and then for the fans, he has Orbis fans, and for LED strips, he has the Orbis LED strips. Pretty cool stuff there. And then finally, the final thing in the setup, I suppose, let's go over his chair. He has the Raidmax Dragon gaming chair. So that's pretty much it for his entire setup. What would I actually change or upgrade in this setup or in his PC build? Well, I'd probably just change some things up in his PC. So he currently only has a GTX 1050 Ti. Now, he did mention that he only does like casual gaming, so perhaps he doesn't need the extra horsepower. But in 2019, AMD are set to release brand new graphics cards, either like Vega 2 on 7nm or like Navi on 7nm. So we'll find out, I guess, in a few days in CES, as I think AMD are going to be announcing brand new graphics cards as well as CPUs in CES in 2019, which is in a few days. So as you currently have like an AMD logo and like a Ryzen logo on your PC case, I think it would be appropriate for you to also have like an AMD graphics card in there. So stick around, wait for Navi or Vega, whatever the brand new AMD cards are going to be, and hopefully get yourself an AMD graphics card that'll probably give you a big uplift in performance. You know, going from like a 1050 Ti to one of the new like Navi or Vega cards that are going to be coming out in 2019. And apart from that, I'd also probably invest in some like sleeved fancy cables, as they really don't cost that much. So like, you know, buy one for like your 24-pin motherboard connector, and perhaps a few for, you know, your graphics card when you go ahead and upgrade it, if you go ahead and upgrade your graphics card. But apart from that, absolutely awesome setup here. I'm sure all of you will agree. This setup is just, it's awesome. Maybe it's just me that really likes this like color theme and all, but this is a freaking sick setup. I've said this a million times. Anyway, thank you very much, Xian or Xian. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but thanks so much for submitting your setup. Let's move on to the next one. The next and final setup comes from Markus. He is 16 years old, living in Norway, Oslo, which is, I think, Norway's capital. The setup purpose is for gaming as well as schoolwork, as you are 16 years old. So let's jump straight into it. For his desk, he has the IKEA Alex / IKEA Lindmon combination. So he has two white IKEA Alex drawers as well as a white 2-meter IKEA Lindmon desk. And in the center of that desk, he also has a single white IKEA Adils table leg right there as well. For his chair, he has the AK Racing Nitro in black and white by the looks of things, which looks pretty nice, matching the entire theme of your setup pretty well there. Taking a look at his monitor, he has the Acer KG251QF 1920x1080p monitor running at 144 Hz. Taking a look at his peripherals, he's pretty much only stuck to Razer here, except for his mouse mat. I'm not sure what company his mouse mat is from, but yeah, he's got everything else Razer pretty much. So for his mouse, he has the Razer Death Adder Elite, and I'm pretty sure he's also got like the Razer mouse bungee as well, holding up the cable for his mouse. For his keyboard, he has the Razer BlackWidow Chroma version 2, And then for his headset, he has the Razer Kraken 7.1 V2 USB headset. Oh, and it turns out he has another Razer product. He has the Razer Raiju, like PS4 controller, I suppose. Pretty sick stuff, dude. And then over on the left-hand side of his setup, he also has the ASUS R556L 2015 laptop as well. So that's pretty much it for, like, you know, the majority of the setup, really. You know, we've covered everything except that PC right there. So for his case, he has none other than the NZXT Noctis 450 White with a homemade side panel, apparently. Pretty cool there, dude. For his CPU, he's gone with Intel. He has an i5 6600 CPU running at 3.5 GHz. And then for his graphics cards, this dude has two MSI GeForce GTX 960 4GB graphics cards running in SLI. GTX 960 is running an SLI right here, dude. Pretty crazy stuff. For his RAM, he has the HyperX Fury 16GB DDR4 RAM running at 2400 MHz. And then for his motherboard, he has the ASUS Strix Z239HR as well. Pretty interesting, like, setup, I guess, with your graphics cards. You don't often see people SLI GTX 960s. But you know, pretty cool stuff there, I suppose. So that's pretty much his PC build. But above his monitor and PC build, he's also hung up like some kind of cool wallpaper on his wall. So it's like a really cool picture of like a skyline and all in a city. Looks freaking awesome, dude. Loving the look of that. In terms of cable management, you've done a pretty good job here. You've picked up the IKEA like Signum rack, I think, and you've stuck that onto the bottom of your desk. You've also got like a power supply or power strip stuck onto the desk as well. You've got a headset like hanger beneath your desk. So well done on the cable management. And then apart from that, you've also got like an LED strip behind your desk as well. So it's a pretty simple setup, really, you know, a black and white theme of like a hint of blue here and there, like your mouse sets are blue, your keyboard sets are blue, some internals of your PC are blue as well. Now in terms of what I'd actually like change or improve in your setup, for me personally, I feel like upgrading your case would help. Like, the rest of your setup is pretty good, you know, it's pretty simple, nothing too crazy going on, but for some reason I feel like that case doesn't really like fit in that well with everything else in here. So like perhaps maybe get like an NZXT H700i or something, or even like a H440, and I think that would look better in the setup instead of the Noctis 450 here. So that's just my opinion though, you know, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, of course, but I feel like one of the newer like NZXT cases would look quite a bit better than the Noctis 450 right here. But that's up to Markus, of course, whether he wants to upgrade his PC case or not. But apart from that, everyone, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Setup Block. As always, submission instructions are in the description down below, as well as the submission email. And everything that you saw in today's video is linked down below in the description. So if you saw anything that you liked, please check the links in the description down below. They take me hours to put together and, you know, to type all those links into the description and all. So I'd appreciate if you guys would check out those links and stuff. But apart from that, everyone, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Goodbye.